Greetings, everybody. This is 6 Degrees, and as you know, this is 6 Degrees and Beyond. I'm so happy to be here, and have a guest with me. His name is John Davis. He's the CEO of Xtremely Hot. What's going on, John?
Hey, I'm doing great this morning. How you doing, Doc? Six degrees is glad to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Man, happy to have you. The pleasure all mine. Um, question: people might be wondering what's this on my head. This is a purple and gold, extremely hot clothing line hat. And you're the brainchild of Extremely Hot clothing line. I've got a lot of compliments on this hat. You know, I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So people, bros and non-bros, always ask me, does that have something to do with the frat? And I'm like, no, it just happens to be purple and gold. You know, one of my students one of my former students designed that. So as I just gave away, John, you were one of my former students at Georgia Perimeter College, which is now Georgia State University. And I want you to explain the whole conception of Extremely Hot clothing line. You know, what does it mean?
Well, Extremely Hot is a trademark of excellence and success. And what it does, it takes you from being the norm to above the norm, going beyond the measures of being the best. It's why be regular when you can be extremely hot? And so it's apparel for all walks of life. Anybody, no matter what you do, where you're from, you could be extremely hot too, but just can't be normal. You have to go above, have to be exceptional, have to be good at what you do. And if you can't be the brand, don't wear the brand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at no one for that either.
Got you. So John, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, like where are you from, and how'd you come up with the idea of putting together Extremely Hot clothing line, you know, in the first place?
Well, from the beginning, I'm originally from Missouri, the Blue Hill, Missouri, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. But I was raised in Kansas City and raised in the Virgin Islands. I came up with the idea when I lived in Vegas. I was sitting in the desert, and it was 120 degrees.
Extremely hot.
Extremely hot. And I was like, man, I said, what? You know, so it's like God put this spirit over me, and I was like, man, I could see that going a lot of places. And so I didn't know about the clothing part then, but I reached out and I researched it to see if it was available. And I went to the attorney after that. I trademarked. And I've been working toward that goal ever since. It took me 3 years to clothing, you know, but got to the clothing. I got an artist. His name is Jody Cheek. He has started helping me put my art together, my logos and whatnot. And I came up with the slangs and kept pushing. I'm steadily moving forward, going from the West Coast to the Midwest. Now I'm on here in the East Coast. Hey.
Where did you meet? You said Jody Cheek. Is that his name?
Correct. That's my artist.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, actually. I met him 3 years after I trademarked the name. I already had the name when I met him. And I met him with one of my old basketball point guards when I played in Poplar Bluff, named John David Tillo, which is the old head coach of Tyler Hansborough that went to North Carolina. Just so happened we old high school friends and old friends from old junior high school, etc. And this is one of the best assists he ever gave me throughout my basketball career, and it wasn't in basketball.
Okay.
You know, I had access to his artist, and his artist now transitioned to be my artist.
All right. So I gave it away earlier that you were one of my students. Can you tell me if you remember how we met?
Oh yeah, we met in the classroom. You were my English professor at Georgia State, the perimeter college in Decatur. You know, so he started grooming me in and helping me assist in writing to kind of put myself in a position where I could start formulating words to my story of my travel and transcend it into actual paperwork so I can give me a grade as well.
All right. You remember what I told you when I first met you? You remember what you told me?
Which part? We had a few.
Man, you a salesman, dude. Like, you was like really promoting your, you know what I'm saying, promoting your Extremely Hot, like to the death. And I respect that. But yeah, it kind of put me in an awkward position because, you know, I was your teacher, so I had to grade you and everything. So I'm like, man, you know, he ain't gonna try to get an easy A by giving me all this fly clothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, you know, we had a lot of good conversations and stuff. I think I told you, hold tight, get this A in English first. And then after that happens, then we can work together. But right now, I'm the teacher, you are the student.
That's right. That's, you set the boundaries from the beginning. We had no issues with no understanding the role and positions that we had, and
Right.
you separated from business from that business of you being a professor and being a student to if any outside interest would have to be after the fact.
Another thing I wanted to present to you was that so you were a professional athlete at one time. Tell
Well,
me
I
about that.
played semi-pro, but my father played pro and my grandfather played pro ball. So my father was a professional football player, and my grandfather was a professional basketball and baseball player. So
Okay, I remember that your father played for the Green Bay Packers, correct?
drafted in Green Bay for the Green Bay Packers in '71.
71.
Right, he was a 3-year starter at the University of Missouri. Played on the Orange Bowl team when they were ranked number 6, and they lost the national championship game in Miami to Penn State 10-3 with Joe Paterno and Franco Harris. But he's a phenom. He was my father was like he was all state in as a fullback first team and all state as a linebacker first team and first team All American in the same season. So he played both ways. He was a monster.
So, question: Franco Harris used to play for the Packers back in the day before he
No,
played for the Steelers.
no, he played with the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh, in college, I never knew that. Okay, because I know him from Pittsburgh.
Right. He played under Coach Joe Paterno.
Yeah,
With the Nittany
right.
Lions.
Yeah,
That's when Missouri met with Penn State to play for the national championship down in Miami in 1970.
got you. Now you say you played semi-pro basketball.
No, football. I played a little semi-pro basketball also in the Virgin Islands. I'm on 3 different championship teams down there, and also 2 football championship teams down there. So it's 5 championship teams and 1 MVP that I'm on. So that's down throughout St. Thomas, Rock City to the Rock. So I got to give much love and shout out to my people. I grew up there, went to high school there as well, so I've been well traveled. So it's been an experience. The culture's great, the food's great, the people's great. It was once a great place. But things seem to be tending off now, more so than it was back in the day. But my father, like I said, he was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. My grandfather played with the Harlem Globetrotters baseball, basketball team. He also played with the Chicago American Giants, the old Negro League, and also the Memphis Red Sox. So, he's been really, so sports has been the lineage been in my family. I'm just a part of it down the line. And Extremely Hot helps me, move forward even with the brand of what it takes and what it's like to be extremely hot.
So I was born in 1971. So I'm not really familiar. Your dad had to play with Bart Starr or Lombardi, Vince Lombardi.
Lombardi was already gone. It was Coach Dan Devine that used
Okay.
to be coach down at Notre Dame.
Okay.
So remember the movie Rudy? That was made.
Yes.
That was made behind Coach Dan Devine. So that's who Dan Devine went from Missouri to the Green Bay Packers. He became the head coach there, and then they drafted my father in '71.
Okay. So when you came up with Extremely Hot, other than you being in the desert and it was extremely hot,
right?
What were some other ideas like? I mean, what made you want to delve into the clothes merchandising, industry?
Well, actually, I didn't know I was going to go into the merchandising industry till 3 years later. But when I first got the name, I started thinking marketing, brand awareness, branding and whatnot, as far as the websites are concerned. And then I actually did a 3-year deal with the Las Vegas Gladiators Arena Football League team to do promotions throughout the New Orleans Stadium in Vegas. So we did that. But in between that time, when I just did my deal with them in 2006, what had happened, I ended up collapsing. I had a car wreck, and I pulled back before I could recover. I turned around, my deal was over, so I really couldn't promote it any further. So I've been, kind of pull back and get myself back together because I was paralyzed from the neck down from that point in time. Then I had to end up doing C-spine surgery in Memphis, Tennessee, and I've been recovering ever since. So by the time I started recovering from losing everything from the neck down, God's hand's been on me all my life for me to be able to come back and be able to walk again. And I'm not running sprints, but I am able to walk. And from that point, I've just been trying to get myself back on track and get Extremely Hot back out there.
Okay. Can you sew?
No, I don't. I sub all my work out. I'm pretty much a creative mind, and I'm very open minded because uh, it's more than the way I think. There are different generations that we captivate, and Extremely Hot really covers 3 generations and more. But you know, initially it's like the X generation, the Extreme generation, and the Hot generation. All 3 of those combined is Extremely Hot.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for all that valuable information. I think I'm gonna take a little break momentarily, and then when we come back, I'm gonna ask you about some of your other 6 degree connections. All right.
I look forward to it, my brother. Appreciate you.
We'll be right back.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 motivation.
We're back, 6 degrees and beyond, with John Davis, CEO of Extremely Hot Clothing. So, John, from what you were telling me earlier, and what you were telling me, when I was your professor, you did a lot of bouncing in the desert, and tell me a little bit about that and some of the interesting people you met. While you were a bouncer in Vegas.
Well, I was a bouncer. I was doing some bodyguard more so in Vegas than I was bouncing. Did some bodyguard work. Well, actually turned me on was as my guy is the godfather of the Oasis, who turned me on to Snoop Dogg and Archbishop Magic Don Juan and Big Daddy Kane, Dougie Fresh. So I started doing some bodyguarding to make sure I did detective service through Vegas and Los Angeles. But initially I started bodyguarding in St. Louis when I was doing Spice 187 proof. So trying to get some things lined out from that perspective. That's where I started. But then I ended up in Vegas, and hey, the godfather of Oasis, big shout out, Church. You got to do it, ain't it, man?
So, Godfather of Oasis and Bishop Don Magic Juan, those are 2 different people, correct?
Totally 2 different people. And also, I can't leave out Rudy Ray Moore, rest in peace, Dolomite. Also,
Dolomite, right.
As well.
Explain to me who the Godfather of the Oasis is.
Oh, man, this is a spiritual advisor for Snoop Dogg. Also, he's like a son to Archmagic Don Juan. So he turned me on. He's an incredible individual. He's also a spiritual advisor to many top-notch boxers that are involved out there.
Floyd? Floyd Mayweather?
No, not. But he's been around Floyd as well. But you're talking about a lot of the other guys. He's been there. He's in the corner, even up to. I can't think of what's the guy's name, man. I can't. Oh man, I can't think of the guy's name.
Joe Louis?
No, up and coming.
Up and coming.
No, not just up and coming back then to the point even right now that they're still active and wearing belts. He's still in their corner.
Okay.
So they have him out there.
That's great. I spent a lot of time with Vegas. Matter of fact, my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, best fraternity in the world. We had our conclave in Las Vegas in 2016, and before I went, I told you, I was asking you, how to dress and everything. You were like, man, it's extremely hot in Vegas, Professor.
Right.
I remember you telling me that. You prepared me because I remember it was like 112 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a different kind of hot because it's no not just that it's extremely hot, but it's no wind coming off the water like down in Tampa, Florida, where I grew up. You know what I mean? So
right.
I thank you for preparing me for that, and also thank you for all the gear you've given me over the years. Could you break down some of the different lines of extremely hot clothing, that you have?
Okay, what I have the Extremely Hot. I have the Extremely Hot for Jesus. We also the Christian realms of it. This Be Extremely Hot and Don't Forget to Pray. Then we have the Mucho Caliente, which is the Latin twin spin-off of it. And as of today, we have a different X. We have a line that says, I sacrifice, I struggle, I succeed, in God we trust, survive and thrive. That's what we're moving with forward into 2020. But we touch all walks of life. We have Extremely Hot in different languages. Every language in the world, we have Extremely Hot in that per se language. So that way, no matter what you do or where you're from, you can be Extremely Hot too. You know, this is a brand for everybody. You know, so but you have to be extremely hot at what you do. You know, in order to push the brand and to be a part of the brand. The X with the flames is definitely off the chain. It just expels the power of X, and the flames make it extremely hot. And that's what we want to do. We want to be a game changer. We're a little different than Nike. Nike is just doing it. You know, we just say, you know, just doing it just ain't enough. You know, you got to be extremely hot. You know, so we're fighting that battle. We love all the support we can get from people. You can check us out on the site, www.extremelyhot.com, XTREMELYHOT.com. And the slogan is, why be regular when you could be extremely hot?
Gotcha. So, do you have any funny Snoop Dogg or Bishop Don Magic 1 stories for me?
Well, I don't know if it's really fun. It's always this.
For Seezy, my Neezy.
For Shizzle, my nizzle. You know, those guys, you know, they're off the chain. They have, you know, the privacy, you know, want to keep that in context, but they all good people and you have fun, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a serious movement. And being a security, you know, my job is actually I kind of be preventive. So I have to see something that's trying to formulate to happen and prevent it from happening in order to keep everything smooth and keep my job in the place and in the right perspective. But hey, those guys, you know, they're fun, man. I don't know any particular one. It's hard to say because, you know, all of them, they something else, man. I don't want to go too far because you know, we enjoy each other. You know, I tell you what, Don Juan, you know, he's you know, we're cannabis connoisseurs, or we were, because I no longer smoke weed. So he's a cannabis connoisseur. And one of the things that really tripped me out one time, because I used to roll the blunts for him also. That's how close we were. So I rolled the blunt for him, but my brother would take some high grade green, and he smoked a blunt to the head through the nose. I said, my brother, how you do it? straight to the head. Hey, look, and we want to tell you, hey, twist up. You
Trigger
ready?
got no heart.
That's no heart. That's Spice One feed. I feed.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, they good people. Man, I tell you, down to earth, really good people. They can help you. You know, a lot of times, some people look at, you know, or try to view it from a different perspective. But you know, the green is for the money and the gold is for the honey. You know what I'm saying? He's good people, man, and the whole entourage. You know, like I said, starting off with the Godfather of Oasis, going to turning me on to Snoop Dogg, which we were out on. Man, I tell you, we were out at Snoop Dogg's his studio out in L.A. and I was running the gate. And at the gate, I was you know, everything was fine, everything's going good, you know, keep everything covered. But I noticed on the curb, it was this guy that was singing, and this guy sounded real authentic. It was Nate Dogg, and I said, man, it sounds like the CD, it's like the album.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nate. Man, I said, man, it was phenomenal because it sounded like the CD, and he was straight a cappella on the curb.
If you smoke like I smoke, then you're high like every day.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
My favorite.
Go ahead.
Favorite. I've got flows.
Yeah. Area codes all over the world.
Man, my 70-year-old uncle loves that song. Speaking of 70-year-old uncles, did you get a chance to meet Snoop's older uncle that he always has in his videos playing like he's him?
No, I never have actually. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with all the regular crew coming around, and man, I never met his uncle, but I met different people. Big Percy, which is the CEO of actually that's Snoop Dogg's manager actually. Is Big Percy, who came out. He's out of Pompano Beach, California. So it's a lot of guys, man. The West Coast is something else, man. It's good, it's great. You know, it's a different world, and you know, they with you, and you don't want to be against
them. Okay. So I was your professor at Georgia State Decatur campus, was formerly Georgia Perimeter, Panthersville, or Decatur campus. It was very much like a historical black college university because it's right there, you know, in the deck on the east side of Atlanta.
where it's greater.
Snoop will be proud. East side, right?
East
so,
side?
so you know, he's from the east side of the LBC.
Right.
So, you know, Jericho Broadcast Networks, the line of networks that this will be airing on, our foundation is Black College Sports. So have you done any endorsements with any HBCUs or, you know, historical Black colleges and universities? And if so, explain, you know, that experience.
Well, no, I tell you what, I graduated out of Longberg Institute, which is a national black prep school, and the only one in America actually puts out the most NBA players. Well, the fourth in America putting out as far as prospects of NBA players. You talking about Earl Manigault, Chris Washburn. You talking about Sam Jones, 10 NBA ring championship ring holder. Charlie Scott, and also James Sparrow, the Bird, out of North Carolina A&T State, which is he's the best player ever come out of North Carolina A&T State as far as basketball is concerned.
Yeah.
MEAC, 3-time MVP, 4-time champion. He was also my basketball coach down in Longberg Institute. So he took me down to MEAC down in Greensboro, and I haven't connected fully with any of the sports programs, but I've been around a lot of the affiliates and coming through different people who've been involved with the HBCUs.
Okay. You know, I went to a MEAC school, Florida A&M University.
AMU.
Yep.
Rattler Nation.
Yep. Myself and my producer, Roy Evans, who is the CEO, Jericho, we're both prior graduates of Florida Agricultural Mechanical University. Some of the other people that you mentioned, I've bumped heads with them. I'm real cool with Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh was very instrumental in producing a college classmate of mine's first album. My college classmate is the rapper known as Common. His name is Rashid Lonnie Lynn II. Rashid's dad used to play CBA ball, I think, for the Denver team. His dad's name, I think, was Lonnie Lynn Sr. Can't remember if he's Lonnie Lynn Sr. or Lonnie Lynn II, but yeah, I think Lonnie Lynn Sr. So I say that to say, yeah, man, it was like a lot of connections. You know, Rosh or Lonnie Lynn II, Common, he won, he played in the NBA celebrity game, this All-Star game in Chicago. Right. And he was the celebrity champ. His team won, you know, the celebrity tournament. And then he was the champion celebrity for the team. He grew up, you know, since his dad was in the CBA, he was a ball boy for the Chicago Bulls around the time that Michael Jordan, my frat brother, was playing for the Bulls. So, like I said, Dougie Fresh did a lot for his career, as also Jam Master Jay did a lot for his career. Jam Master Jay helped Rosh get into the New Music Seminar in New York, which led to his deal with Relativity Records, where he first was. I think he's on Universal now, but he was on Relativity many years before. But I met Doug, man, a few times. When I taught at Spelman College, Doug Fresh was, I saw him, ran into him, we took pictures or whatnot. Then I saw him again at the A3C, All Three Coasts music conference in Atlanta. And he remembered me, you know, from when I met him at Spelman, and he was real cool. I think that year, which was like 2013, he had just performed at the Delta Sigma Theta sorority centennial. And then I approached him, I let him know, yeah, I went to Florida A&M, and, you know, my good friend Keisha Walker, who's a soror, was, you know, I know she told me you were going to be performing at the centennial. Like, oh man, I just got to follow Keisha right now. You know, he was just real cool, real personable. Doug's real cool. And I told him I was a beatbox too. We beatboxed and we tripped. And just a stand-up guy, you know? Stand-up guy.
He was also that stand-up. He was inspirational trying to turn me on to the Moors. You know, so that's a whole nother, you know, level of, you know, intimacy that he shared with me. knowledge-wise, you know, try to uplift my spirits and knowledge and my even more becoming. And also, I don't want to leave out that Extremely High, we also have another shirt out that we did, Rest IP, you know, to definitely Kobe Bryant and him and his family and all the others. We got a Kobe T-shirt, the 8/2/24. You know, we definitely reaching out and showing love, you know, because he was a great inspiration to not just basketball, but families and fathers and all abroad.
Okay. All right. So like,
and he wore the purple and gold, baby.
exactly. I was just about to get into that. Like you got me a lot of my purple and gold gear, and I was sharing you know, that Kobe wore the purple and gold because the Lakers colors are purple and gold. But a lot of people don't realize, you know, Kobe's father, what's his first name?
Dean.
Joe Bryant, the great Joe Bryant, played at Philadelphia alongside Dr. J, right?
Right.
So, you know, Kobe was drafted out of high school just like LeBron. But a lot of people don't know Kobe played ball in Italy, you know. So when he played in Italy, I kind of think that was like, you know, his college basketball playing experience for him. And Kobe, may he rest in peace, patterned his game after Michael Jordan, so much to the extent like his mother would send him tapes in Italy. You know, I'm going back, send him VHS tapes. This is before the internet. This is before YouTube. His mother and his dad would send him tapes of Bruh Jordan, and he would watch these tapes and he would do everything that Bruh Jordan was doing, including throwing up the hooks. If you watch his old tapes, you'll see Kobe's not a frat brother of mine, but you'll see Kobe do I'm talking about everything, the tongue and throw the hooks up. And then a bruh had to pull him aside and say, you're not an Omega. He's like, I'm sorry, sir. Just, you know, he was real respectful, but he idolized Jordan to the point to where, you know, so that's why Jordan looked at him like his little brother. And I was so proud of Michael Jordan, you know, for speaking at his eulogy that they had, you know, at the Staples Center and whatnot. Right. And, but yeah, Kobe loved Jordan and Jordan loved Kobe.
That's a great thing.
Great thing. Oh, shouts out to brother Shaquille O'Neal, who is a frat brother, and he had a chance to play with Kobe Bryant. And shouts out to my CEO, Roy Evans, because he was the one that broke the news to me, that the unfortunate news of Kobe Bryant passing. I was at church at the time, and he was like, yo, I saw that, you know, this happened, you know, on social media. And it was hard to believe, man. But, you know, like I said, shouts out to him for bringing that sad situation to my attention. Was there anything you wanted to add about the Kobe Bryant clothing line?
Well, yeah, you know, it's inspired and it's there for all that want to be a part of it, because he's definitely extremely hot and he's great at what he did. You know, so I hate that, you know, I'm still haven't resonated that he's gone yet, because I can't believe it, even though I know it's the truth thus far. You know, I had and you know, and he did mimic his game definitely off of Michael Jordan, which I have mad love for Mike. Me and Mike share the same birthday, February 17th, Aquarius all day. You know, and but I also have a friend of mine that played ball with Mike and played a ball against Kobe. They were really close. Tyrone Nesby out of UNLV, played with the Clippers and the Wizards. And actually, Tyrone Nesby was chosen, specifically chosen by Jordan to sign with the Wizards. You know, so they played together. And actually, T-Nez, we call him T-Nez. T-Nez is also, when he signed on with No Limit Records, with Master P's, when he was doing the sports signing, the sports agency deal. So, you know, we definitely reach out to he's one of our own. And, you know, some way he's always connected to where we come from. And we have to look back and take the best of everything. But he definitely mimicked this game after Mike. And at some point in time, he was really more deadly. Well, I won't say deadly. He's more effective offensively than Mike was, you know, coming up, because he had a little bit different game, a little bit more energy to it. You know, Mike definitely at the top dog, no question about it. But Kobe took it to that length. He took it there, and he, you know, he perfected all elements of his game. And he was a hard worker, and you know, he did not stop. He was relentless. That mama mentality, you know, that's just not something you read about. You have to be that, and just because you work toward being that, don't mean you'll get there, because it takes that, and you have to have it inside of you, and you have to stop. You have to be all of that, and you have to want it. And he wanted all of that. He worked, he put time in for it, and he did it. And he refused to accept no as an answer that he could not do this, he could not do that. That was not an option. He was a boss.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for the brother, not only because of his business acumen and his perseverance as far as the game goes, you know, and his good sportsmanship and how thorough he was and just how he went hard, you know, with the Black Mamba mentality. But I also wanted to say that it's a lot of greats. It's a lot of greats you have, you know, in the game of basketball, pro basketball. Some of them have rings, some of them don't. Two of the ones that stand out of my mind that don't have rings are Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson. I remember when I worked at Turner Broadcasting watching tapes of Allen Iverson freaking the handles and juking Bud Jordan out. You know what I'm saying? And I just got a lot of respect for Kobe because he went hard. Like the bros, we go hard in everything that we do. Kobe was not a bro, but he gave that enthusiasm, if you will, that if you talk to any Q dog, enthusiasm is a very important word that, you know, it's in our vocabulary. And I think Kobe Bryant, you know, exuded and embodied that. But check it out. We're gonna take another break. When we come back, I want you to give me a little idea. Tell me more about this, the controversial aspects of this Kobe Bryant line once we come back from the break. And you know what I'm talking about.
I got you.
I was kind of getting on you about it, and we were kind of going back and forth. We had a difference in opinion on it. So
right.
I will share that when we come back, all right?
I look forward to it.
6 degrees and beyond, right when we come back.
Extremely hot, baby. All the way.
All the way.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 motivation.
Six degrees and beyond. I'm back with John Davis, CEO of Xtremely Hot Sportswear and Apparel. So, my brother, those Kobe tribute shirts. Could you share to the people with, you know, what you had on the back of the shirts?
Sure. What the Kobe tribute is definitely respectful to the man. Put in 17 years in the NBA or longer. You know, he's definitely played at the top of his game, and he was never convicted of a crime as far as the sexual scandal out of Denver, Colorado. But then Gayle King definitely brought it to the light, and really just before he could even be buried, just kind of bringing him to the fire without, you know, disrespectfully so. And so on the back of the shirt, I have, you know, blank, well, fill in the blank is what it says above it. And below it, it says blank Gayle. So we want to give people opportunity to verse and push out how they feel. You know what I'm saying? So they could say praise Gayle, to hell with Gayle, or blank Gayle. You know what I'm saying? However they feel, that's their personal vibe. And I don't want to curse anybody to say, hey, you got to feel this way. But I do want to hear how you feel about it. You know, because she did, like I said, she disrespected Kobe and Kobe Bryant's family, all to the highest of disrespect in regards to that. And in return, then Susan Rice disrespected Snoop Dogg and threatened him. And while she was telling him that he shouldn't have been threatening Gayle King, but at the same time, Snoop Dogg, he apologized for using the vocabulary that he used, which he did use the improper vocabulary, but then he was on the right mindset. She needed to be checked. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has said anything to her, and she's been holding that Oprah Winfrey card, and she's playing it to where like she feels she's invincible, which is totally disrespecting, you know, the people that, you know, we come so far to, you know, you could at least let the man, you know, be buried, but not just that, you had 17 years to say this to this man, and you want to wait till the day he dies to say this. 17 years you had nothing to say. Why do you have anything to say today? So I'm very proud of Snoop Dogg stepping up and defending the family. I'm upset that nobody stepped up to defend Snoop Dogg and say, hey, he's been violated or threatened, and nobody's apologized to him, but he's done the apologizing. So he's taking the high road, definitely, and I'm proud of him for that. Snoop Dizzle.
I totally agree with everything you said. Only thing I disagree with, okay, so I want you to set me out, as the brother said, I want you to set me out with one of those Kobe shirts, but I want one. I don't want Gail's name on my shirt. That's just me, because I feel like by me putting Gail's name on the shirt, it's giving her, you know what I'm saying, it's giving light to her. I don't want to give her no light, because she still hadn't apologized to the Bryant family. And I love the shirt, man, I wanted to say. And I definitely love the number 2 that's representing Gianna, because that was her number when she played ball. And that's my number, you know, in the frat. And then it's purple and gold. And then I love Kobe. So you got to set me out one of them shirts, but I don't want Gail's name on the back of my shirt.
We got two versions. You know, we got the clean and the unclean. But the unclean,
I don't want that. I ain't gonna use the name Snoop used in the first place. I don't want her name on my shirt. I'm just wearing my Kobe shirt. So you got me right.
I got you. I ain't mad at you. I got you.
All right. Now you quoting Pac. Did you ever meet Pac in Vegas?
No, I never did meet Pac, man. You know, that's crazy, because I've been to I used to have a house down the street. Him and Suge Knight owned a club called the SRO on Spencer and Flamingo. So
also known as 662?
Huh?
It's also known as Club 662.
Oh, well, I didn't know it was that rare.
MOB. Yeah. Money over bees, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
It's some blood stuff too, but I'm not a blood nor a crip.
Right.
I don't gang bang.
Yeah.
I just do the cute thing. I don't gang bang.
So if I have to bang, I bang in black, blue, green, purple, barefoot, flip flop. We got to get it.
Flip flops and socks.
That's right.
So I saw an anniversary on your Facebook page about a milestone in the Extremely Hot clothing line. Tell me a little bit about it. It was something that happened in Missouri.
Right. Well, that was the first store after leaving Vegas and coming back from being paralyzed from the neck down. I opened up a little retail store in Portersville, Missouri, I-55, exit 32, and just trying to get it going. And that's when it just that's the first stepping stone to actually having the retail. Everything else is kind of like Too Short was coming after Trump, you know, and just trying to move on and keep it pressing. And it's coming down through the Midwest, down to the Blue Hill. And, trying to show the love and push out the Extremely Hot brand and get it going, which, it's been a long journey, and the journey continues. But it was definitely some love there. It wasn't, didn't get the kind of support that, that I wanted to get, but I got some support. So, something's better than nothing. But at some point in time, it was time to move on. And thus far, I moved on and moved on. I'm in the A, baby, where it's extremely hot. Matter of fact, we got this shirt, Extremely Hot Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because, it used to be Hot Atlanta. We're in a new decade. We're Extremely Hot Atlanta. Nobody else in the world can make it extremely hot around here without putting Extremely Hot Atlanta on the deck.
Okay.
So that's just a part of they didn't drop the peach this year, but we bringing the peach. So we're going to try to get things back on deck. Extremely Hot definitely is coming through, but that's what we were doing. We were doing T-shirts. We're doing hats. Same kind of different, same thing we were doing now, but we're doing it now on a higher level. Versus then, that was a stepping point. That was a stepping stone. So I definitely shout out to the people in Porterfield, Missouri, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, Malden, Sykeston, Howardville, Hville. Definitely, that's where, we had the Buck City Club down in Howardville off of I-55, exit 44. We get the things rocking and rolling down through there. Rip, shout out to my cousin, Buck, Richard Anderson. So, just really getting this thing going. We got involved with Monopoly Records, DJ Bones out of Hayti, Monopoly Records out of Paducah, Kentucky. We Run Up, Get Done Up out of St. Louis, Missouri. So we've been trying to just, coming around the country. And now we're here in the A, in Atlanta, like I said, on the east side, definitely. But, we definitely continue to service all the way around the perimeter, but been focused more on the east side, the Decatur, Lithonia, Stone Mountain, the Tucker areas, going all the way around Marietta. Just shout out to everybody, come through Brookhaven, you know, a Buckhead, just trying to get things live. And Fulton County, definitely downtown. Just really want to roll. And then the Virgin Islands is definitely on deck, you know, without a doubt. You know, it's a lot of Virgin Islands of the community here in Atlanta, as well as other cities, not just in the islands. But, you know, they definitely here, you know, so shout out to them all day long, you know. But just trying to get this thing going and be extremely hot and be the best we could be.
Question, other than college, what brought you, you know, to Atlanta, you know, in the first place? Because your mother lives here, correct? As well,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Mother does, she does live here presently. But I first moved to Atlanta when I got the military in 1989, 1990. You know what I'm saying? So I was around when Nikki D's was the Purple Onion. I came back in them days, you know, that's, you know, right before they eased up and
Nikki D's? You mean Club Nikki's, right?
Club Nikki's down on Stewart Avenue.
Nikki D is the rapper from Jersey. So Club Nikki's, right.
Club
Nikki's. I know you're old school when you called it the Purple Onion.
Yeah, that's the onion, baby.
Yeah. What you know about the Purple Onion?
Everybody don't know about the onion.
Nobody but my uncle who plays the frat in 63.
So, you know, we was rolling, man. So that's a good thing. We was coming around Ben Hill area. You know what I'm saying? We all around, you know, Chastain Park. We all was, you know, that's all in the day. This back in the day. That's when Mr. V's Figure 8 was still rolling around. It was still open. And
went back. Mr. V's Figure 8.
Yeah, man.
What you know about the Sam Susi? Live at the Sam Susi.
Well, I heard about it. I didn't get a chance to frequent that with just that, but I heard of it. But, you know, I just had a small little circle I was dealing with, and I was, you know, working that circle back then. In them days, I was, you know, still young and vibrant and full of energy, and it definitely that was a time I hadn't been injured or anything, so I was full throttle. You know what I'm saying? It was making it happen in the A. I love that.
Okay, so thank you for your service. You mentioned you were in the military. What branch of the military did you serve in?
I was in the Army, United States Army. I was a 55 Golf, which is a nuclear weapons specialist. So all the things that's going on in today's society, I should build and maintain nuclear warheads and missiles. So back then, when I got out, I couldn't really get a job. But today, if I was in the same shape I was when I first got out, it seemed like everybody be trying to hire me. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, you know, it's a top secret. You know, I had a top secret clearance. It's not an easy job, and it's something that comes. It's a lot of weight that comes with it. Decision making. You know, you could make and break a lot of lives at thousands at a time. You know, but definitely when I signed up to serve, I signed up to serve for God and country. You know what I'm saying? That was first and foremost. You know, so to God be the glory that I was able to get in and do my part and be able to come out and still move forward.
All right, we're gonna break once again. When we come back, I'm gonna get more into, you know, your experience in the military and how it ties in with the clothing line. All right, when we come back.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, hey, this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 motivation.
One 6 degrees and beyond. I'm with John Davis, CEO of Xtremely Hot Clothing and Apparel. So John, you mentioned that you had some injuries when you were in the armed services. Could you tell me a little bit about your injury and how that affected your business or your life?
Well, yeah, I was affected life-wise. When I was in the military, I ended up had Bell's palsy and it got, you know, paralyzed my 7th cranial nerve when I was up in Canada. And so I couldn't reconnect. I couldn't re-enlist. I had to fill my time out and you know, ETS out and come back to the civilian world. But you know, my time in the Army was great. It was knowledgeable, you know, it was strong. And when I went in for life, but I wasn't able to stay at the time because my medical conditions, you know, forced me out. but my mentality is still in effect. You know, I'm still a soldier. That's for life. Once a soldier, always a soldier. You know, kind of like, you know, I'm not, by experience, we kind of like being a Q. Once a Q, always a Q. You know what I'm saying? You know, the brotherhood is strong. And, you know, that's a good thing. You know, much love out to the Omega Psi Phi fraternity as well. And thank you for having me in and being a part, even as an instructor and as a friend as well, you know, and as a brother.
It's all good. Even though you're not my fraternity brother, one of the models of the fraternity, the implied model, not the implied model, but the motto of the fraternity is friendship is essential to the soul. And so glad to be your friend. Glad I had a chance to be your instructor. And now I'm glad to be able to do business with you now, since you already got an A in my class.
That's right. That's a good thing. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate the assistance and the guys that you gave me to help me put things in order.
No problem. You got the A. Like it says in the hallways of Clark Atlanta University, where I'm a professor now, we have this mirror in the hallway. And underneath the mirror, it says, this is who is responsible for your grade.
That's right.
So look in that mirror and big up yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it, man. I just wanted to say, okay, so you said you have an extension of your clothing line that's religious in nature. Do you have a shirt that says, Jesus is extremely hot?
No, but I have a shirt that says extremely hot for Jesus, and we have a strip on back. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that way.
With a stripper on back?
With the scripture.
Oh, with the scripture. I thought you said with a script on back.
No.
You're going to hell. And it's extremely hot in hell.
Hey, Jezebel didn't make the shirt. She didn't make it to the shirt.
Gotcha. Hey, I thought about that because, you know, I see these kids wearing all kind of crazy shirts. Like, for example, back in the early 2000s when you had do-rags with Tommy gear on the side of it.
Right.
I was married at the time, and my wife wanted me to get one of these do-rag, or I was getting a do-rag, and my wife at the time was like, you should get a do-rag that says Jesus on it. It said, I love Jesus. And so now you see all these extremely, I ain't gonna say extremely hot, extremely weird shirts that say God is dope.
Right, man.
Or Jesus is the shiznit.
Man,
you know what I mean? I'm just like, wait a minute.
Well, you know, and extremely hot for Jesus is built off Revelations 3:16. You know what I'm saying? You know, because thou art, you know, are lukewarm, neither cold nor hot. Right. He says, I will spit you out of the mouth. So if you're not extremely hot for the Lord, you cold, you dead. So you need to, you know, in the Lord, in the pastors and everyone tell you need to be on fire for the Lord. And that's extremely hot for Jesus all day long.
That's what's up. Are you a Van Halen fan?
I like Van Halen. I like Lil Journey. I like some of all that. You know, I've been around. You know, I came up in the Boot Hill, like I said, that's a red state. So in the rural area, we had to learn. You know, we didn't even have radios. We didn't have black radio stations back in those days. You know, not in that area. So you had to kind of conform to with your surroundings, and you couldn't wait to Saturdays when the Soul Train came on.
I'm a musician too, right? So I just had an idea to make a new song called Xtremely Hot for Teacher. And I'm going to have some bad chicks with some purple and gold.
Hey, look.
Extremely hot shirts on that say Extremely Hot for Teacher. They're going to be hot for me. You feel me?
Yeah. Hey, look. That's off that 1984 album.
Right.
1984.
Exactly. All right, man. So before I close it, anything you want to add?
Oh, man. First of all, hey, we got you taken care of with no Gale on the back print. So, okay. You know, get your Kobe t-shirt. Right. Get lined up. I really want to thank you for supporting the brand and wearing the brand and also being visible with it. And hopefully, you know, we move forward and help build the brand up, get it out even out there even more. So the more support Xtremely Hot could get from others, we can be stronger to help others as well. You know, so it's not just about us. It's about us being able to help others, but we need your help to help others as well. And
not a problem. Another question. I see a sneaker back there. You have a sneaker line? Extremely hot sneaker line?
Yeah, we got the shoes going on too. We got the shoes. You know, we got the extremely hot. We got it's like I don't want to say a throwback. This is not a regular sneaker. This is like a luxury shoe. And what it is made in Italy, but right now that's coming out of Italy right now because of coronavirus. But it's Italian leather. It's handmade, handcrafted on order, and it's a throwback between the Chuck Taylors and the Jordan. So it has a different kind of sleek look. It's off the chain to come in different colors. And I have some Kobe shoes designed also We just waiting on the coronavirus to get out of town so we can get the fashion back rocking and rolling and being extremely hot because we ready for it.
So on a serious note, I wanted to send prayers out to all that were affected by the coronavirus, you know, with their families and whatnot, whether you have deaths or whether you have sickness in the family. This has affected everybody. We're all in this together. What are some ways that you have been able to, you know, have had to try to change the way you do things? For example, this is probably this is one of our early shows of 6 Degrees and Beyond, and I'm sitting in my home, you know, doing this. You're sitting at your home, and thanks to Jericho Broadcast Networks for making this happen. What were some things you had to do to keep business moving in spite of the light of the quarantine and the pandemic?
Well, I had to keep, you know, I definitely had to stay quarantined, and I definitely had to reach out and do everything online, and definitely, you know, via the phone, and definitely want to give a shout out, you know, to Jericho, you know, Network, man, for making this happen, because without him, this wouldn't even be existing. Well, without God, and then without him, we wouldn't be rolling, and then without you. So, you know, it's a big thing. Definitely give a shout out to that. Don't want to leave that out, you know, because he's an important part to the message and to the movement. But definitely, just it's crunching me down to where I can't move as effective as I would like to. But at the same time, it's helping me be a little bit more strategic because I can't function the way I once could. You know, as far as being able to get out, and I have to stay, have to apply and abide by the rules and regulations to kind of be self-quarantined, stay housed in, and which is kind of crazy because now I have to build up more online network, more online traffic, which that's where everything's going, because at this point in time, brick and mortar is out of the deal. You can't even go outside your house, let alone inside the mall. So now we were just working on trying to build up the online presence, get more involvements, get some more brand recognition, see if we can get some more things built up on Instagram, Facebook, and then just continue to let the traffic run through the website, xtremelyhot.com, and kind of move on and keep it rolling. We also have, at this present time, we're more focused on the Extremely Hot for Jesus as far as the line is concerned, T-shirts, etc. We are the X4J, because, you know, if you don't have Jesus in your life, you need Jesus in your life. This is not a situation that man can fix. Only Jesus can fix this. You know what I'm saying? And so we're working on that. The Joshua 1:9, we have different scriptures available. We want to be in a position where, you know, we got the Extremely Hot for Jesus line that's out there. If someone just happens to be out and someone sees the scripture on the back, we're going to keep the word of God alive and keep it moving forward. And if we're already familiar with the scripture, that's good. We just re-enhance it. But for those that are not, they get a chance to be a part of the scripture and learn the scripture or see the scripture when at some other time they wasn't seeing it. Because at this point in time, nothing is open. You know, if nothing's open, it's hard to function. And it's not about your money, how much money you got. It's not about where you're from. Coronavirus is non-discriminating. You know, and everybody needs Jesus to get past this thing. And we got to keep the faith. Have to have trust and believe and keep the faith. You can't just say, okay, it'll pass, and this too shall pass. But, you know, you must keep the trust, you know what I'm saying, must keep the faith, you know, and you must believe, you know, in Jesus' name. Amen, my
Amen.
brother.
Want to send prayers out to Jeff Towns, DJ Jazzy Jeff, who think he had pneumonia, but he's getting better. I want to give a shout out to Brad Jordan, also known as the rapper Scarface, who I think one of his kidneys failed or something like that. He had pneumonia as well. He's battling with the virus steadily. And in addition, BB Winans, I heard, tested positive for coronavirus. And then, you know, you have people out there that are not celebrities, want to offer them prayers as well. Did you, this is just an idea. Had you ever thought about coming out with any protective, extremely hot face mask?
Yes, I have. That's what I'm contemplating now. I'm looking at, I have a manufacturer that's that's in the process of trying to put something together, and where we can kind of do, you know, get some face masks rolling, because at this point in time, face mask is not going to be a weekly thing. That's going to be a yearly thing, or forever almost, it seems, at this point, because, you know, you never want, you don't know when you can and when you cannot trust the air now, because how it's been polluted. So you definitely want to protect yourself, you know, and that's something that we're coming up with, you know, just pushing it, looking to add the logo, add some different, you know, designs, etc. Well, you know, that's in the process of trying to get more backing. We need some capital. We need some, you know, some people to get involved instead of being a one-man gang, etc. We need some good, positive people to get involved to help push and be a part of it.
Okay. All right. Well, if there is nothing else that you would like to touch on, we could conclude, man.
Okay, well, definitely. Like I said, once again, thanks for having me, and thanks for being extremely hot. And you look great in the gear, purple and gold. And let's see if we can do some. If we can get some more people involved, it'd be great. You know, so we can reach out and touch and help some of the other communities. This coronavirus is for real, so we need to stay coronavirus free as best as possible. And we definitely want to give a shout out to New York City. They're going through it. Not that nowhere else is going through it, but they're really going through it. New Orleans, Cali, but New York seems to be really having a major, major issue. And, we need to, some of the millennials need to be, take this very serious. It's not a time to go to the beach. It's a time to be serious and stay quarantined and to try to get healthy and see what's going on so we can get past this situation. We need to save lives, not sacrifice them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, take care of yourself, brother. Thanks for coming on to 6 Degrees and Beyond. And take care of yourself so I can see you again in person. And oh man, I already got a whole bunch of orders, so I'll get them from you. I'll give them to you later on after we get off the air. The bruh seen this hat when I've been DJing live on Facebook, and I already got orders for you. So
man, that's good news right there, man. That's good news. I thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Oh, are you aware of my literary release? My book?
Oh yeah,
Spectacular Swagger Man?
Yeah, Swagger Man. I saw a copy of it, man. Congratulations on the release of it.
Appreciate it. It's since we've been in pandemic, I've had a chance to put it into formatting, but I am taking pre-orders, and it should be done in like 2 weeks, from printing in probably like 2 weeks or so. So if you want to do a pre-order, you know what I mean, y'all can hit me up at Augustus Jordan III. That's $ Augustus Jordan III on Cash App. If you want to get a pre-order, I'll sign the copies. And you have a Cash App for Extremely Hot?
Yes, we do have Cash App. It's $ JD Extremely Hot. XTREMELYHOT.
All right. Thanks so much, man.
The website, we accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover. We're all there, on the website. We also do PayPal. It's not an issue. We take care of you, allow 4 to 7 business days for shipping, and we make sure it's there. Also, that's postage rates have gone sky high. They're $15 for flat rate anywhere across America. Any orders over $75, shipping is totally free. Totally. So free shipping for any order 75 and above.
Oh, one more thing before I let you go. Your granddaughter plays basketball? I think I saw on your social media. Tell me about your granddaughter's, athletic endeavors.
Man, she's smart. She's very smart. She's really athletic. She just turned 9 last week, actually. And she was a little upset. She said the coronavirus is ruining her birthday. So she had a fit about that. But, she's really coming along. She's working on her skills. She has, great hands. She's tall. And her IQ, her intellectual IQ is really high. And, she's just getting around to where, I look for it. The Kobe situation inspires me even more. So not that I didn't want to, but it inspires me to want to be in a position to go out here and teach her the game, to pass on the knowledge that I have, to pass to her so she can utilize it to be the best she could be and also help others be the best they can be. And because it's a difference between being a winner and being a champion. It's 2 different breeds. And that's what we want to reach out there and do. So Learia McFarland, that's my baby's name. That's Pawpaw's baby. So that's her name. Pawpaw baby, let me tell you, that's her name.
That's what's up.
So she's in the Marietta area. So we look forward to the coronavirus to get by so we can get back into action.
All right. In closing, with 6 Degrees and Beyond, I want everybody to be safe out there, and stay tuned for the next episode coming up real soon. So everybody take care. Peace out.
Peace out.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching, motivation.